Hey, Mark and Joey here on Monday morning, and oh my God, was it full of sports with football coming back on the weekend? But not just football. You got the tennis there. We've got car racing. We've got every sport going. It's a jam-packed weekend of sports now. We had a fantastic time watching all the great sports that happened on the weekend. So here's what we're going to do, though. We're going to start with our tennis show, a recap of the U.S. Open, which was crazy. And besides the fact that it was Canadian that won on the women's side, it was just insane, the tennis itself. So we're going to go there first. Do want to remind you, ultimatesportschannel.com. You can go there. We have a complete sports feed, tells you everything about every story that happened over each day. So take a look at that for your daily recap, as well as our sponsors and where we're shown and listened to on the different audio podcast channels. I think we're up to 13 or something like that now. So anyway, you find all that on the website. Joey, tennis, we couldn't be any happier as Canadians. What a remarkable run by Bianca. It's been insane. Last year, 150th in the world. It was a qualifier, got beat out in the first round, and now she's winning the U.S. Open. And she went through an injury on top of that. This is insane. It's a dream year.
Yeah, I mean, the women's final was on Saturday, and, it was something special to see. I think it was a great rubber match between her and Serena with what happened at the Rogers Cup or Canadian Open. Serena was not able to go, and, no, I don't think she's someone that looks into, will people question whether that was a real win then? She seems very confident and has a good idea of her goals and who she is. I don't think that would have bothered her. But it was nice to come out and get the victory against Serena again in the final round of the U.S.
It's kind
Open
of a two-tournament final, really, when
and
you
had to deal with Serena's crowd. So really it was very triumphant to win that and get technically both titles and deal with the U.S. crowd of New York, which she struggled with a little bit. Up 5-1 in that second set, allowed Serena to come all the way back to 5-5 and just came back and won 7-5 like nothing. It was really, really impressive to watch. You talk about her year. It was obviously fantastic. The most wins on hardcourt. People kept saying, I can't believe she's here because she was a qualifier last year, but she kept on saying she was injured. So, credit to her that she really knew it was injury. She didn't question was her talent
and took the
going down with the injury. No, she went with her coach, said, no, let's take the time to get healthy, and then won and then got injured again and took 3 months off instead of kind of forcing your way back and kind of playing in and out and then question your ability and hitting all these weird shots. So, she talked about her team and she actually said, she hired a permanent physio, a coach and stuff like that. And, I guess you need it. I mean, credit to her. That team obviously did a great job getting her there. And, her mom apparently helps her with her mental game the most, and she has a great, strong mental game. I mean, it was so impressive. She played so much more tennis than Serena, so much more difficult matches. Now, I believe that might have helped her know the intensity, where Serena kind of had a lot of easy matches and didn't have to build up her intensity before the final, and looked a little dead, but she's looked like that in all these finals against these opponents right now. She obviously has a ton of pressure on her shoulders trying to break that record and obviously being Serena. But these young guns have come out and beat her. Naomi Osaka did this year. This year it's Bianca, and we're so proud of her. From Canada, I mean, honestly, she looks destined for great things. I mean, obviously, that's not a bold comment by me. 19 years old, very impressive.
Well, the one thing she's going to have to watch out for is, like we say, Serena's been beaten the last 4 finals she got to when she's been trying to beat Margaret Court or tie Margaret Court's record, and the others haven't come back. I mean, they haven't come back and repeated like she's done. So that's the only thing we got to watch out with Bianca, or she's got to watch out for, obviously, is can she repeat now that she's reached the pinnacle? The hardest thing we know in all the time in sports, it's one thing when you're coming up. It's one thing when you kind of have nothing to lose. This was talked about in the Serena match by Chrissy Everett and a couple others.
Well, and Serena's coach, he was very honest because obviously defending his own client. And Serena was saying, Naomi Osaka won the Australia in January right after the U.S. Open, but then since has been very, very poor. And in fact, fired her coaching staff and kind of went a little bit crazy there. And then Sloane Stephens did it earlier in 2017. She's fallen completely off the map. So it is going to be important for Bianca to carry it forward. Now, I think she will because she's also winning regular events. She won 2 massive events. She already won in Canada, her home open, and then followed that with a major. I think she's also a specialist in a way where she hits it so hard and has drop shots and has all these extra tools that no one has, and her serve is fantastic.
Her serve is incredible. Not quite as fast as Venus, Serena, even though when they were talking about it. But she's very great server when it comes to that. She hardly ever loses her service games, and she was really strong that way. I think what we saw there was two things that are going to be a little bit of a concern. She let that crowd get on her case way too much. Talked about it both the other game against the American and now Serena. So she's got to work on that a little bit, although she came back from it, obviously. But she allowed a 5-1 lead to go away in the second set there. And she's got to be a little bit worried about that for sure. The other part is the injury. You hate to see someone who's 19 years old already have an injury. Will that become nagging? That's going to be something to see. Although she did have the wrap off of her leg for the last two games, which was important. And so hopefully she can do it. I mean, we're going to see next year.
A couple quick points to add to that. I mean, the crowd, you're going to get used to that. I mean, I think losing the 5-1 lead was maybe the most important thing of this whole match because if she could have easily lost the second set.
Yeah.
But I think if she won 6-1, she wouldn't have had to deal with adversity in a final yet. But she dealt with literally everything you could ask for and imagine, still won. Dealt with that crowd with Serena's serve, giving up a 5-1 lead. She really should have lost that set and probably would have lost the match. So many other opponents would have. I think what she has over most other tennis players like Naomi Osaka, who's very shy, doesn't even seem confident in herself. Bianca's she's so confident. Like she's already said, I should have set my goals higher. I guess I didn't know I was this good. And she's already saying, "What's your next goal?" She goes to win the tour finals and be top 3 in the world. It's so. That's more.
Well, she's fourth, so that's not a very high goal.
No, but that's like Serena-esque to me, where I feel like these other opponents have what we've seen in typical athletes these days. There's nothing wrong with it, which is life's so good they don't want to go put these bold claims on. I see in Bianca, it's not about money.
And she's a hard worker.
It's not about living a good life. It's not about being she's happy, but she's only happy with Serena type success. So a little bit different personalities I've seen out of her compared to some of these other winners, and it'll be interesting. I mean, first of all, her best friend seems to be Serena. So I think she's going to get some good tutelage. Even if Serena...
once they stop playing each other.
That's what I mean. If Serena's career came to an end, I think she'd help Bianca. I think the only time they're not friends when they're playing. But, she just has a little bit more of an edge that I think not many people have these days because, like I said, life is really good at the pro athlete level.
Yeah,
so.
they make lots of money and then get too comfortable with that money. And then they become also more opinionated on the way they play. And that's why some of these guys have had trouble with coaching and all those kinds of things. But hey, there's a little bit of passion for us because it's Canadian. But let's get on to the men's side, which was insane. We want to talk about comebacks. We want to talk about matches that were edge of your seat. This looked like a no-brainer. Nadal comes in, wins 3-0. No, but he wins 3. It looked like it was going to be that. It looked like it was going to be just a wipeout. He wins the first 2 sets. Looks like it's all over. Medvedev's down a break in the second set. Looks like this is all over. And then the kid comes back, 23 years old, and pushes Nadal right to the edge.
Well, I mean, I don't think Nadal thought he'd be pushed to the edge. It was kind of said a couple times by McEnroe. The one thing Nadal normally has over other players is his work ethic. He said, Roger Federer is the most talented, and the fact that, he's been able to play till 38 is because of that and because he's so smart and has all these extra skills to his game where Nadal maybe doesn't have all these skills Roger has, but he has one thing, power, strength, and a work ethic that's second to none. And the 23-year-old Russian showed the exact same fight. I mean, this guy has been in 4 straight finals, so that's a lot of tennis. And these matches that he played weren't easy, where Nadal's was simple. And down 2 sets to love, he had such a great interview afterwards. I loved it. He even joked, goes, I was already thinking of my speech that I say for being second. And then he came back and really worked hard. And even in the final set, got down 2 breaks, broke back, then held his serve and almost broke again. Actually had a break point to make this go to a tiebreak. I mean, his fight was incredible. It matched Nadal's. It even pushed Nadal maybe over the limit to a point where he really had to hit the most number 2 in the world type shots. He had to be number 2 in the world. Otherwise, Medvedev would have beaten anybody else. But Nadal being Nadal hit 3-4 shots that only he could hit. And it was incredible. And, it was just unbelievable match. I mean, when you see tennis like that, you really garner so much more respect and see what next level these guys are. I mean,
nobody else has to play 5 hours to win a sporting event. I mean, if baseball does it the odd time, but that's a snooze fest. This was 5 hours of action. It was crazy. Yeah. And so anyway, boy, we've become huge tennis fans since we started doing the show. We were probably a little bit more on the outside
when we started playing ourselves.
And we're playing ourselves as well. But we're just loving tennis, just nonstop action all the way. And the shots they can make are beyond incredible. I mean, beyond incredible the things that they're able to do. But anyway, really happy to see for Nadal within 1 now of Federer. But really happy to see a young player, and that's 4 finals he's had in the last month and a half. that it's actually looking like he's going to be a force on the tour. Have been, the top 3 guys won all the majors this year. We got to stop this.
Well, I think they've won all the last 14.
Yeah, between the 3 of them, we got to stop this. We got to get some youth going. So we got the Medvedev's there. The Italian gave a good run, although didn't really stand up very well in the semifinal. So we're loving to see this, and a guy with personality. I mean, he was funny as hell. He's, his interview afterwards was really engaging with the fans. He was a little bit of an anti-fan at the beginning. Then he turned into a fan favorite. And then he's playing Nadal and actually had them cheering for him after a while.
Yeah.
And so tennis needs that to move on from, Federer's 38 years old. I don't know how long he's going to go.
Well, I hope we get continuous of, while these stars start to age out, you get the young guys coming in.
Yeah.
And I think it would be great to see a lot of finals of a veteran and a youngster. I don't want to see the vets completely go yet. I mean, Roger Federer is still a fan favorite. Nadal, you should hear that crowd. Clearly a fan favorite.
Well, Djokovic and Nadal are going to continue on. They're younger. Federer is getting near the end of it all.
But it's good to see young guys maybe get to these finals and play them and either have the young up-and-coming star win or have the older star win. It's really win-win for tennis was this weekend. Bianca 19 or Serena tying a record. Nadal almost getting to the record of Federer and probably will with the French Open, or a kid winning his first at 22 years old. So, tennis is in a good spot. They can keep that trend going of the youngsters coming up and the older guys still being able to be competitive because they're still fan favorites as of right now. It'd be really, really special. I still hope Roger Federer at the end of the day holds the record by the time he retires. I feel like it will always be passed by Djokovic or Nadal because of the French Open.
Yeah.
But I hope at least maybe Federer plays 2 more years. Maybe he can get 1 or 2 more. I know it's been a while for him. So.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there you go. What a weekend of tennis. 2 weeks of tennis.
Congratulations to Nadal.
Quite frankly,
Bianca.
every major, which is what we really watch, has been insane tennis. All of them have been great. We're looking forward to next season when it comes up again with all the majors starting up in Australia. I believe will be the first one.
Yeah.
And we'll see. It should be another great year. However, Djokovic hurt in this U.S. Open to actually pull out of a match.
It's an early start.
We got to see what's going to
so.
happen there, and is he going to be coming back at the same level? We'll see. But anyway, there's great tennis. It was a fantastic weekend. We're happy. First Canadian ever to win a title, and we're so happy with that, and we're expecting a lot more of that next year.
And Nadal on the men's side, one closer to Federer.
Yeah, we'll look forward to coming back when tennis reaches its next major.